For the first time ever, details coming to light about a secret FBI working group that allegedly investigates unidentified aerial phenomena, or also known as UAPs, UFOs. It's the first time that the group has ever been publicly disclosed, according to Politico. That claim coming from former Navy pilot Ryan Graves. If you remember, he was the first active duty pilot to come forward about regular sightings of UAPs. We heard his whistleblower testimony in front of Congress last year. Graves says the FBI working group is made up of more than a dozen staff who, quote, spend much of their time tracking down UAPs. I now want to bring in Ryan Graves. He's co-founder of Americans for Safe Aerospace. Ryan, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. I mean, this is the first time the public is learning of this secret group, this probe into UFOs. You've spoken to these agents. Who are they and what exactly are they working on right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So these agents have taken upon this responsibility as a part of a bottoms-up approach in order to understand what potential illegalities might be occurring with objects that are operating within our airspace that we're not properly tracking or mitigating. The FBI has both a law enforcement as well as a counterintelligence responsibility. So having objects that are harassing military bases as well as the general public over our national airspace squarely fits within their domain of responsibilities.
Yeah. You know, I think a lot of Americans are listening to this segment right now, seeing this headline saying, what, FBI agents, you know, looking into UFOs? How long have they been a group, Ryan, and tasked with investigating them?
Well, my understanding is that they kicked off this work in about 2020. We've been engaging with them for the past year and a half. And what that primarily looks like, we receive a lot of reports at Americans for Safe Aerospace, some that might have serious national security implications. And so with the permission of the pilots or the witnesses, we've referred the pilot to interview with these groups such that these agents can then follow up on the reports, gather additional information, talk to additional witnesses, and look for gaps in our national security that they can address for the nation.
Mm-hmm. Do you know if they've found anything so far? I mean, have they told you anything, any specifics?
Well, of course, they're limited to what they can share with me about these ongoing investigations. I'm not read in or part of the group in an official capacity necessarily. We're essentially trying to do the right thing by ensuring these gaps don't go unmitigated. But from what I understand is that their investigations have been very fruitful, and they've been able to move the ball both in an unclassified and classified regime forward quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. And I understand several of them have told you that they're worried about losing their job in a Trump-targeted purge, since a lot of them worked on January 6th cases. You know, agents across the board have to fill out this questionnaire about their work on the Capitol attack. What are they sharing with you on that end, and what would your message to the White House be in regards to that?
Yeah, you know, there are expected to be a number of purges within the FBI, and although this isn't a classified effort, it is a quiet effort within the Bureau. And the fear was that these agents would get wrapped up into this larger removal of agents within the FBI and leave the UAP investigation essentially hung and dry where it is. So my message would be to the administration is to recognize the fantastic work that these agents are doing for our national security, and to ideally, directly to Director Patel, to formalize this effort within the agency and resource them so they can continue and expand their efforts.
You know, I mentioned right off the top, a lot of us heard your congressional testimony last year. You've given us a lot of time here at NewsNation, which we're so appreciative of. You've sounded the alarm here on this network in the past, calling for more protections for whistleblowers who have come forward to testify before Congress about these UFOs. Ryan, where do your concerns stand now as far as whistleblowers being willing and able to speak out?
Well, there absolutely is still concern from whistleblowers and even just witnesses. I'll separate those two a little bit, because whistleblowers may have classified information they wish to share, where witnesses may have critical information to a national security concern that is of interest to the FBI. I'm not aware of if or how specific any investigation into classified efforts go within the FBI working group. But the work that has been done with the witnesses has been incredibly fruitful. And I think a lot of our witnesses are very appreciative that there is a serious agency that's looking into their concerns.
Well, we thank you and others for everything you've shared and done, and appreciate you kind of taking us a little bit more behind the scenes of this story that's coming to light. Ryan Graves, always good to have you, sir. Thanks.
Thank you.